Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm delighted you found me. Um, First, last forever, thank you to my viewers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. I am blown away by your generosity and your support. Thank you. It means a lot. Excuse me. Okay, so I woke up this morning with this thought in my head. I wonder what's going on with Maxine Waters and the Financial Services Committee that she heads. So I have a question. The question is, what all is she finding out? Because, Trump, she subpoenaed all those bank records from all those different banks. And then Trump went to court and said, you can't have them. And the judge came back and said, yeah, actually, she can hand them over. So she has been in possession of, the Deutsche Bank records, the Citibank records, and there's like a list. There's lists of the different banks that are involved, but of course those are the two sort of main ones that we keep hearing about. So I want to do a deep dive on that and find out what we can find out about what that committee is finding out, what their strategy is, what Maxine Waters is doing and thinking. So let's give this a couple more shuffles and let's see what the cards would like to share with us about the Financial Services Committee. Bring it down. Okay, so Financial Services Committee, Financial Services Committee, Financial Services Committee. Okay. Oh boy. All right, so let's start with the Magician here. This is basically saying that that committee is in the process now of uncovering, analyzing, and sorting through all of the tricks, all the business tricks, all the personal tricks, all the lying, deceit, manipulation of numbers, assets, liabilities, all of it. They are starting to work their way through that. And from the looks of it, it's a fairly significant amount of stuff that they're going to need to go through. The Cup of Page and the Knight of Page is interesting because, the cups are really about emotions. They're about sometimes emotions that are, that are out of control. Usually the page is about sort of good news or unexpected news. But as I'm interpreting this, it's more that they are finding more than they expected, more than even they thought could possibly be in those records. And, Trump was completely able or not, he did everything he could to block the release of that information. And that just didn't work out so well for him. So you have to figure he and his family probably are pretty nervous about, what is going on there and what people are finding. So again, I'm reading these two cards really as just sort of an excessive amount of emotion, things being agitated, overwhelmed about what they're going to find. He's really frightened that if they do a deep dive, and make no mistake, they are going to do a deep dive, that he really is going to be outed. All the lies that he told about his wealth, all of it. It's going to come out, and it is really unhinging him a little bit. So I suspect that that's part of why we have seen, Trump ratchet up the instability, the crazy, the erratic, because he's feeling threatened on a really, for him, basic and fundamental level. The secrets are coming out. They are going to find. Sorry, barking dogs. Okay. They're going to find the secrets. Those secrets are going to be exposed, and he's not, frankly, going to like that they're exposed. It's interesting because when I saw this card, normally it's about, somebody in a position of power and all I could think when I saw this card, the Emperor card, is the Emperor wears no clothes. So clearly, there is some pretty significant exposure coming that. And what this is telling me is that they have strategies in place. They know exactly how they're going to handle the information that comes out. Not sure who that King of Cups is. Let's play a little more and see what we can find out. Yeah. So he's not happy about what they got. And the fact that his hands were tied and there was nowhere left for him to maneuver. This is the thing. He may have that slime bucket Minution under his control, but that doesn't mean that Minution is, going through Minution is not the only way to skin the cat, right? So financial income tax stuff, yeah, Minution won't release it, but of course the state of New York can release the state taxes. And that's what it's talking about. It's talking about these committees finding indirect routes to get a hold of what is not being handed over willingly. And it boils down, it's all about this Trump dynastic money. He is, scared. The thing with him is he's so ego-driven that he just doesn't want anything out there. It's not so much that he is worried that someone is going to say, "Oh, you're a liar," because, come on, let's face it, almost 11,000 lies since he took office. We all got that part figured out. But what he is afraid of is sort of his illusions of himself and of the illusions that he has painted for the world being exposed. And it's not just going to be Trump. It is going to be Trump, the Trump family, and Trump businesses that are all going to experience some rather brutal heartbreak coming along as this information gets processed, as they're able to sort through it. I don't get the feeling that this is going to be a really zippy thing. It's going to take them a few months because just of the volume, the magnitude, and how almost nothing you look at can be taken at face value. Every single number has to be cross-checked, double-checked, triple-checked, because he says some different things on different forms. I don't know, depending on, I don't know, which way the wind's blowing, what he had for breakfast, I don't know. But there doesn't, it's just whatever he needs to do or say on those forms to get what he wants. So everything has to be double checked. It's going to be a bit of a slow process. But make no mistake, the Financial Services Committee is going to be successful. They are going to uncover some really, really interesting things. And with that, there will be the stripping of not only some of his assets, but certainly his reputation and the illusions are going to get punctured. You know what? I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people have referred to Trump as, the Wizard of Oz, the lie behind the curtain kind of thing. When you pull the curtain back, there's nothing there but a guy sitting around in his underwear. It really is going to be what happens. The truth is going to out him. Oh, yes, it is. He's not going to like it. And when it happens, when they start releasing this information, it is going to be released very quickly in very quick succession. And it's almost as if it is just going to swamp him. He's not even, this is the thing. On a fundamental level, bless his heart, Trump actually thinks he hires the best, the best of everything. And he thinks that his accountants, etc., are so clever, nobody will figure it out. Well, guess what? They're going to figure it out. It's not that hard to figure it out because you didn't hire and you don't hire and you never have hired the best. So it's coming down, and when it does, it's going to be truth after truth after truth, and he's not literally going to have a way to spin it. He's going to be so upset and so agitated. He's going to be struggling to find balance, and you know what? He's not going to find that balance because, frankly, it's just not going to happen. He's so erratic, and he can try to spin the truth. He can do all of that stuff. But when it comes right down to it, numbers add up. 2 and 2 always equals 4. Just the reality of life, folks. So if he's going to be out there trying to tell the whole world that, 5 minus 3 equals 4, it's just not going to work so well for him because some situations, some topics, even in fact, unfortunately, the whole collusion, not collusion thing. In order for people to drill down on that and really understand that what there was and what there wasn't, they had to do a lot of reading and understanding. But, all of us to some degree or another balance our checkbooks. We handle money. We pay our bills. We take care of business. We take care of what needs to be taken care of. So the average person can look at a simple financial statement and say, this is not adding up. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So let's all look forward to that. The judgment on him is going to be swift, brutal, and unforgiving. He's going to try to escape it. He's going to try to, sail away onto calmer waters. I don't believe that's going to work for him. In fact, it's not going to work for him. Here we have the 4 of Swords, so it looks like he's going to go into a bit of retreat. He's going to, try to pull everything back, go quiet, go silent. It's not going to help in this situation. It's sort of very much like the whole, of course I would take, information from foreign countries on my opponents. Why wouldn't I? It will be the story that doesn't die. It will go on and on and on. And the more he tries to get it to stop, because it's Trump, the worse he's going to make it, because that actually seems to be one of the few things he really, really thrives at. And we end with the Death card. So things aren't looking so good for Trump. Maybe we should all send a little bit of energetic and positive energy to Maxine Waters and that Financial Services Committee, because they may very, very well, when it all is said and done, they in fact may have the biggest potential to bring him down, because the information that they're trying to get, she has gotten it, so I want to say sort of faster than Nadler's committee or Adam Schiff's committee. They're still fighting and maneuvering. She has the stuff in front of her that she's working with and drilling down on. So she may be a little bit ahead of the other two in terms of releasing information that, isn't so good for Trump. Again, Knight of Pentacles, it's not looking good for him. He's going to be facing a decision. God help us. Let's hope he makes the right one and removes himself from office. It's all about the money, folks. It's all about the money. And here's the Devil. And you know what? I'm just going to flip a couple more cards and I'll tell you why. Oh, here it is. And the Tower. So I'm going to digress for just a second here. I have been doing psychic readings, tarot readings, channeling, that kind of spiritual psychic work for more than 40 years. Now, having said that, I would appreciate if all of you out there, we all just agreed that absolutely I must have started doing this at the age of 2. But in all my days, in all my 40 years, I have never done so many readings when it comes to Trump, his associates, his everything around him. These cards are forever coming up. They are arguably some of the most difficult cards in the tarot deck. You've got death, you've got the tower, you've got the devil. It's a triple whammy. Like when these kind of cards come rolling out all the time, there isn't a way to escape what is going to rain down and come down on your head. There just isn't. So when we get frustrated and agitated and we feel like this is taking too long, or, are we sure, we get spooked because, maybe the Republicans will be able to pull this out of a hat? Not a chance. Remember this: there is not a way for this man to escape the con, the corruption, the inhuman behavior, the appalling attitudes. He's not going to escape it. It's all going to come back and bite him in that rather unattractive and pudgy ass he owns. So, on that happy note, I think I'll wrap this up. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. I was blown away by some of the comments when people said that, they were going to pass this in my website, or my channel, sorry, on to people they know and friends. That just literally, it just warms my heart. Thank you so much for finding me. I hope that this reading has given you some insight and I'm sure some comfort. And I look forward to seeing you again really, really soon. Thanks so very much. Bye-bye. Be well.